Welcome to this session on one-click publishing in Service Studio. On the menu bar in Service Studio, we have a one-click publish button that will send the definition of our application to the Service Center app on the OutSystems server. So by clicking on the one-click publish button, what actually happens is Service Studio creates an XML description of the application that has been created and sends it to the OutSystems server. The OutSystems server saves that as a new version in the metadata repository and then generates, compiles, and deploys the code onto the application server. It also provides any updates needed to the database to be able to keep the logic and the data structures in sync. So while we're in the environment, once we click the one-click publish button, a one-click publish tab will appear down in the debugging area. It will start by saying a new version has been stored to the server, and it's doing that through the Service Center app that we mentioned. It then generates and compiles the ASP.NET C# code and any JavaScript that might be needed, as well as creating any SQL scripts to update the data structures in the database. It will then send those to the SQL Server database and make sure that the application is also deployed to IIS. Once all of this is complete, it will then tell us that our application is available on the server, and it will give us an idea of what the URL is to that application. Once this is completed successfully, we can either down in the debug area click the Open in Browser button, or we could also go back up to the top where we will find that the menu bar's one-click publish button has changed color, and if we hover over this button, it now says it's the Open in Browser button. So if we go ahead and ask it to open in the browser, so let's go through this set of tasks. If we come in and we click the Open in Browser, what will happen is it will bring up either the web page for the web application that we're viewing, or in the case of mobile apps, it will show us an emulator that shows us the phone and how that mobile app is being emulated. Now, once that version is published to the server, we may wish to be able to go back to a previous version. So how could we get to a different version inside of the server? We can always switch between the versions and the modules that we've published by going to Module and saying Open Other Version. It will then list the different versions of that module that have been deployed, telling us the date and time that they were deployed, and which one is currently active and is the published version of that module. So we can always open a different version and move back to a previous version if necessary. Now it may be that two people are working on the same module at the same time and we actually make different edits. Because we may have different edits that could potentially collide, it will detect the fact that two different sets of edits have been made and it will ask us what we would like to do. We can either merge the two versions and publish. We could just publish our own version and override any other versions that exist, or we could compare the two. In general, it would probably make sense to at least view the comparison and then come back and make a decision on what you would like to do. By clicking the Compare button, it opens a diff tool. And the diff tool basically shows you your version and any previous version that was uploaded. It then highlights, and in this case we can see highlighted in a bluish green, all the different things that are different. So from the previous version there was a home screen, and now we have a hello world screen. There wasn't a other version of a screen, and now there's a working with data screen. The database had a generic entity, and now there's a message entity. And if we select one of these, so in this case we can actually see that the Hello World screen is selected. We can see that the old Hello World screen only had a name and it was available anonymously and to registered users. Now the home screen's name has changed to Hello World. It has a description, and the anonymous was taken off, so now only registered users can get to it. So this gives us the comparison of these two. By clicking merge, it will go ahead and merge all of the given entities together and make that the newest published version. So this gives you an overview of the one-click publish that's available in Service Studio. This also completes our overall overview of OutSystems from the different components and capabilities in OutSystems through all the different pieces of the development environment in Service Studio that we've been able to take you through. Hopefully you've enjoyed this overview. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.